This demo will showcase our Salesforce to Salesforce user broadcast template. Broadcast is the act of moving data from a single source system to many destination systems in an ongoing, near real-time or real-time basis. Essentially, it is one-way synchronization from one to many. This type of integration is useful when synchronizing data from one system to another in real time, creating a sales order in one system when an opportunity is marked as one in another, and many more. In this video, I will show you an example of an organization that utilizes this template to broadcast its users from one Salesforce instance to another in real time. We will also specify a filtering criteria. In this case, a user will be filtered depending on the activation status. Right now, let's see how it all works. Let's create a new user in our Salesforce instance in Org A and see how it will be reflected in our destination Salesforce instance. We will fill up a first and a last name, assign an email address, and click Save. Then, when we go to our destination Salesforce instance and refresh the page, we will see that the user was created there as well. Now, let's take the same user and change the name from Al to Alejandro. When we go back to our destination Salesforce instance, we will see that the name for that user was updated accordingly. Now, let's modify a user that doesn't meet the criteria. First, we will deactivate this user, and then change the first name from Alex to Alexa. Then, when we go to our destination Salesforce instance, we will see that the user was not modified. Now, let's move from the user experience to Anypoint Studio, our graphical design environment for the Anypoint platform, and see what is powering this integration. Here we see our template, which leverages best practices for integration with Salesforce and makes this integration possible in minutes. This template has already been downloaded from our library, where all of our templates can be found. As we look at the endpoints file, we can see a Salesforce connector that retrieves users from our Salesforce instance and determines the filtering criteria. The filter is a part of the query that selects what should be migrated over, or at least extracted out of the Salesforce instance, and what should be filtered. Then, when we go to the business logic file, we can see that the template uses a batch module to make the act of moving a large set of data easier and more transparent. Here we query the data from the Salesforce destination and check whether a user from the Salesforce origin exists there. Then we remove unnecessary fields like last modified date and assign a profile ID and a username to each user. Then we upsert the data into our destination Salesforce instance, which means that we either create a new user or update an existing one. The last step that we do, we log a message report that the migration process has been completed. Now that we know what stands behind this integration, everything we have to do to make it work is to list our Salesforce credentials in the properties file and run the application. Today we've shown you our Salesforce to Salesforce user broadcast template and broadcasted users from one Salesforce instance to another. To find out more about the template, follow the View Documentation link on the template's detail page. Give the template a try, and if you have any questions or feedback, please send it to info@mulesoft.com. Thank you.